All right, so what's going on, Free Game Nation? I like to welcome y'all back to the classroom. Before I start this thing off, I want to give a shout out to all the new Patreons. One time for Dry Connect, appreciate you for coming on board, brother. You know what I'm saying? Hope you enjoy the show. Hope you enjoy the Patreon and man, to soak up all that good game that's on there, man. And one time for all the other Patreons of August who came on board, man. I appreciate y'all, man, for vibing with the channel, supporting the content. Um, if you want to support the Cash App, that's $ Free Game Show 2020. PayPal is in the description. Patreon is in the description. You know what I'm saying? Hop on that thing, man, and boss up your game. But what I want to talk about today is this hookup culture and why it's becoming more difficult for dudes to hook up with females and to make connections seamlessly. Connections that should be seamlessly effortless. But see, back in the days, man, all you had to do was really just go up to a broad and say what's happening with your man, and introduce yourself. And if she was single, she was gonna give you a shot. I'm talking about, man, this early 2000s, man. It wasn't all this. You gotta have game and all that shit. Back in the 2000s, I'm telling you, all you had to do was just walk up to a chick and say what's happening. Ask her for a number. If she was single, she gave you a shot. Unless she was utterly repulsed by you. And the only way a woman was gonna be repulsed by dudes back in those days, if his clothes was he didn't iron his pants, he didn't comb his hair, his face was dirty, nails were dirty. If you weren't clean, then you was getting this. But if you was clean about yourself, man, you look like you was a halfway decent person, you was gonna get a shot back in those days. You didn't really need game. You didn't need game until you got into the actual relationship. That's how it's supposed to be. You're not supposed to need game until you get into the relationship. You know what I'm saying? Now you need game for the initial hookup. This is where the game is messed up at. And the reason why the game is messed up like that is because, it's the same reason why, you know, if you want if you want to buy a Nintendo, if you want to buy certain Nintendo games, like for the old ass, ragged ass Nintendo, if you want to buy some Nintendo games right now, some of these games are gonna run you $1,000 for the old ragged ass Nintendo games. A game of I think called Stadium Events, that shit sold for like $10,000. Trash, horrible game, but it sold for $10,000. Why? Because people on YouTube are talking about how rare the game is. So once people find out about the rarity of certain games, then that drives up the prices for the games. So, but YouTube has also had an adverse effect on hookup culture. See, once females started finding out that dudes was on YouTube learning pickup game, they drove up the cost of admission for acceptance. So, I was in this group, online, and I was talking to a couple of chicks, and they was complaining about YouTube game. They was complaining about how dudes, come at them with shit that they done seen other dudes talk about. They talk about how dudes always try to go straight for the pussy. They was talking about all this goofy shit that these dating coach niggas be trying to tell y'all. They was talking about how they so frustrated with the code approaching and all this crazy shit. Like, if basically they was saying in the group, nigga, if I like you, I'm gonna give you a choosing signal. This is why I tell guys to go for the choosing signal. That's why I tell guys, you can introduce yourself to a woman. You can say how you doing. If you walking past a female, you can give her a look over. She's gonna notice that females notice observation before conversation. I got shows on that. I was telling dudes, if you wanna speed up your roster, if you want to speed up your numbers, you know what I'm saying? If you want to have sex with as many females as possible, then yeah, cold approaching is the best way to go. Cold approaching is going to give you quicker sex. The only problem with that is you got to understand there's pros and cons to everything. The only problem with cold approaching is, it's going to get you faster sex, but it might give you faster sex with desperate females. It might give you faster sex with low quality females. It might give you might end up hooking up with a chick cold approaching who probably wouldn't have never gave you a choosing signal in the first place because she didn't think she was good enough for you. So I don't think y'all caught that. You might end up hooking up with a chick cold approaching who wouldn't have never gave you a choosing signal because she didn't think she was good enough for you. She knows she fucked up. She see you, you like you got your shit together, so she don't want to bring her craziness into your universe. But you so thirsty and you lean with your dick and you hollering at everything you think that's halfway cute in the skirt, and you fuck around, you end up bringing the devil in the blue dress into your life. You know what I'm saying? You're going to get more pussy. You're going to get more opportunities because you're chasing everything down. You're also going to aggravate a lot of females. You're also going to get disrespected much faster. You're going to get everything quicker. It's like the only difference between a miserable poor man and a miserable rich man is the miserable rich man has more opportunities to be miserable because he can afford more miseries. I don't think y'all caught that. Ain't nothing worse than a rich, miserable motherfucker. Cause his options of being miserable are limitless. He understands that the money do not bring happiness. At least the poor miserable dude, at least he can hope. At least he can hope and say, hey man, one day I'm gonna get $1 million. One day I might win this lottery and I'm gonna be on easy street. His dreams may be false because happiness gotta come from within. Happiness don't come from money, but at least he can hope. The rich, miserable motherfucker, he can't hope because he already got the money. So he know money don't bring happiness. He has no hope. He just miserable. That's why a lot of rich motherfuckers kill themselves, man. And that's no different from the dude who can't get female because he has no game versus the dude who has no game, but he's not scared to cold approach and deal with these females who don't really fuck with him like that. You know, the dude who can't get no females because he don't got no game, at least he can hope that one day when he get his game sharp in his mind that he's going to have females that's going to fuck with him, you know what I'm saying? And they going to fuck with him for the real because now he got his game sharp in his mind versus the dude who comes on YouTube and get misguided, get misled by another dude who might be simping on the stroll. You know what I'm saying? So he going out here, he cold approaching, and he's dealing with females that he's pissing off. He's getting disrespected. He's getting humiliated. You know what I'm saying? He's getting rejected. He getting his manhood snatched out of his chest sometimes. You know, he can feel the negative energy as he walking over to the bitch, and she already letting him know, nah, I'm not finna fuck with you like that. It's some videos I'm gonna start showing on YouTube, man, that dudes just getting epic rejections. Cold approach. And then the nigga look in the camera and say, hey, at least I wasn't scared. At least I wasn't scared. I went for mine. You know what I'm saying? Y'all was scared to talk to her. At least I was. And they think that's masculine. They think that's masculine, but that's because they listen to niggas on YouTube. This is why I try to tell dudes, wait for the choosing signal. You know, you can introduce yourself to a woman and feel her vibe out. You can say, "Oh, how you doing, young lady?" You know, if you in the checkout line with a chick and you getting your groceries, she getting her groceries, you can say, "Oh, how you doing, young lady?" You know what I'm saying? And if she say, "How you doing, bike or whatever?" You just feel her vibe out. It's countless opportunities where you can introduce your woman without making it an uncomfortable situation with you trying to holler. You don't have to holler every time you say hello to somebody. You don't have to holler every time you look at somebody who you think that's attractive. When a woman wants you, she's going to send you a choosing signal. This is why you're supposed to wait for choosing signal. Because I don't care whether you cold approach or not. The woman still has to choose. No sex happens unless the woman chooses. No relationships can begin unless the woman chooses. So why put yourself and put her in an uncomfortable situation because you want to try to force the issue? This is why I did that show, Manufacturing Choosing Signals, going over ways where you can manufacture a choosing signal, where you can put yourself in a situation to show a woman that you are available and give her the opportunity to choose without making it awkward. See, when you flat out cold approach a bitch, that's awkward. So now she got to come up with a way to shut you down. Now, if you introducing yourself and you ain't making it, you know, you say 1 or 2 words to a chick and you see if she gonna turn her body to face you to give you that direct energy, or you see if she's gonna look you in your eyes and try to get a reflection out of herself inside of you, or you see all these little telltale signs that she might give you to show that she interested, she start twirling her hair and smiling while y'all having a little chit chat, then that lets you know, okay, well maybe I can go in and say, you know what, well, what you doing next Thursday? You know, you can come over and cook for me. I'll come cook for you, or we can go for a walk in the park or something like that. I would like to get to know you better. Once she give you that flavor, because she done already chose. You can't choose. This is why Max and Pimp say, yo bitch chose me. Max don't go out cold approaching bitches, man. Because they don't want to get a reputation. Well, Max do. Pimps don't. You know, Max don't really care. Max all about the money. Now, Max see a bitch who like she got that bag, and Mac gonna go after. But you know, pimps don't do that because pimps don't want to get a reputation for being rejected around the city. Cause then niggas gonna be like, boy, your game ain't as sharp as your mind. You figure that? So this is why I tell niggas, man, let her choose. You can introduce yourself to females all day long. Just don't be cold approaching their ass, man. Don't, you know what I'm saying? Let an opportunity present itself for you to meet her casually, naturally. Don't put yourself in no awkward situation where a motherfucker see you coming across the room and you looking all goofy and shit with that little goofy ass smile on your face, and she like, oh man, why is this dude coming over here to fuck with me? That's street harassment, man. That's street harassment. So, you know, you're gonna hear all these guys, they're gonna keep telling you guys to cold approach, because they know you guys are going to keep getting rejected. And then, you know, the more you get rejected, the more help you're going to feel like you need. When don't nobody really need no help in the game. You don't really need no help when it comes to hooking up with females if you let the process happen naturally. You only need help once you start dealing with a woman. That's what I do. I teach people help. I teach people interactions on dealing with females. Now, I'm going to teach you how to naturally make a connection happen. You know, I do that too on Patreon, but it's not going to be through cold approach. It's going to be through semi-cold approach. It's going to be through warm approaching, if you want to call it that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not finna put you out there to put you in no awkward situation. I care about you. I'm not finna do that to your self-esteem. I'm not finna do that to your pride. I'm not finna do that to the females that you might harass. Nobody don't want to be harassed, man. It's like I told y'all, like on the last one. People do not want to buy water from people on the sidewalk trying to sell water to everybody. People want to go to stores and buy water. You know what I'm saying? If a woman wants a drink of water, she's not gonna go. You know, she don't want no motherfucker on the sidewalk rushing up to her saying, "Hey, miss, you want a bottle of water?" Now, if she comes to you and say, "Hey, sir, can I get a bottle of water?" That's something different, and you on the sidewalk selling the water. But a woman gonna want to go to a place that's established. She gonna want to go to a place that she's feel comfortable at before she buy the water. Let her come to you and buy the water. Be the store. Be the store that's selling the water. Don't be the nigga on the sidewalk walking up to everybody trying to give people bottles of waters. That's aggravating. That is aggravating, bro. A lot of you dudes are aggravating. A lot of these females are right when they complain about that street harassment shit, man. Because you're walking up to these bitches and you trying to holler at them, and your game can't be as sharp as your mind if you cold approaching. That's why a lot of y'all get mad when the bitch say no, and then y'all be like, well, bitch, you ain't all that and all that shit there. Nah, it's an awkward situation that didn't even have to happen. Now you in your feelings, so now you getting angry and shit like that, man. I see it happen all the time, man. I see niggas hollering at females all the time, female telling no, well, fuck you, bitch, and all that dumb shit. Putting this woman in an uncomfortable situation, man. Putting this woman in an uncomfortable position. Let the shit happen naturally. When you meet a chick, you know, introduce yourself. If y'all crossing paths, if y'all in the same vicinity, if you go where a lot of females are at, it's gonna happen for you. If a woman likes you, she's gonna put herself in your cross path so you can introduce yourself. A woman is gonna give you the chance to introduce yourself if she likes you. That's why I say always you gotta stay clean. Don't go outside looking nasty. Always don't play basketball in your church shoes. That's a show I did on Patreon, man. Go on Patreon and listen to that show. But you know, if you just want sex, you want sex the quickest way possible. You know your game ain't as sharp as your mind. You know you ain't got no money. You know you ain't got no status. You know your game is weak. Cold approach. You're gonna find a desperate female that you know, she come with a shit ton of baggage that the guys who know about her don't want to fuck with her, and she just looking for anybody to throw that pussy on. Cold approach, and you're gonna find you some pussy. You want some quality? then you introduce yourself to females that you meet in your daily life, and you keep it pushing. The ones that like you are gonna let it be known so you can take it a step further. You don't have to cold approach and go in for the hookup. You don't have to put everybody you like in awkward situations. The ones who like you will let it be known that they like you so you can make this shit happen. It's that fucking simple, man. You only need the game once you enter into the reaction. Once you enter into the situation, you do not need the game for the initial hookup process. You do not need the game to get pussy. This is nature, man. A dog don't need game to go fuck another dog in heat. Lizards don't need game to go fuck other lizards. It's nature. You need game to coexist, bro. You need game to continue the situation going in case, it starts off a little rocky. You need game to keep people interested. You figure, Dallas? But, man, I don't want to go too deep, man. Get too much in the game on YouTube, man. But that's all I want to say, man. Y'all be cool on your stool, understand? Not cooking with two peas in a pot. They ain't cooking the stove ain't hot. I'll fuck with y'all on the next one.